Whew. Shh. Don't tell the wife. She thinks I'm in the yard working. Luckily, I can sneak over here across the street on the four-wheeler and come down here and do a little bit of fishing. She might not even know it. So let's walk down here. I'm going to try to find a place to set up my camera. I think I know a spot. You might not be able to get everything in view, but today we're going to use this little Z-Man craw with a rabbit baits weedless jig head. I will say that these little jig heads, I did talk some crap about them the first time I seen them because they were so expensive. I think it was like $4.99 for like 3 of them. And I was like, that's just crazy. But after I lost enough jig heads that weren't weedless, I said, I'm going to try it. So I went ahead and ordered 6. $10, you get 6. It's worth, when you're going to spend the shipping anyway. I went ahead and got them, but I'll tell you what, I've caught all my biggest smallmouth ever on the setup just like this. So down here in this deep area, down along here, see the tip of the pole, all down through there, all up through here, and even down around the corner, I've been catching some nice ones. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to set this phone up somewhere to kind of get me in view so you can kind of watch me do this, and we're going to see if we can catch some fish. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it for a second, and we're going to set this up. So that's about the best I can do. If I can get the camera angle, good, you can see me. Let's see what we can get into. Try to use it on a medium light rod, 8-pound test. So you can feel it. You want a little bit of strength so when you set the hook it sets. You don't need a whole bunch of strength. You want to be able to feel it as well. Make sure my lure's doing right. These jig heads, they kind of lay flat in the water, which is good. The Z-Mans themselves, don't want to stretch them out. You can stretch them. Stretch them out really good. They're really durable. Z-Man crawl, stretch them out really good. Makes them more elastic, more lifelike. That's what you want. You want it to mimic the crayfish. And they stand up. So when this jig head hits the bottom, the rubber Z-Man actually wants to stand up straight. So it does, it gives the impression of it walking up, throwing its claws up at you, like a defensive crawfish would do with a fish attacking it. Let me tell you, I caught some of my biggest fish on these. Right over there. Can't see too good with these dark glasses on. I need to give me a high visibility line so I can see better because my eyes are terrible. Ooh, something just jumped over there. Tell you, when you see fish jumping, especially when the water's not real deep, throw over there. Means there's something there in that area. Bounce it along. What fish in this river don't want to eat a crayfish? I can't see my line. I like to hold it a little bit. You can feel it. You can feel them hit it. You can feel them pick it up. There he is. Oh, that's nice. Oh, here he is. See what I'm saying? Look at this. Nice smallmouth. Not real big. On a Z-Man. Told you. That's the first one of the morning. Try to be careful getting the hook out of their mouth, you know. Oh, I know why it won't come out. Okay, now it'll come out. 9 inches or so. Not bad for a beginning. Hi, little guy. I'm telling you, these little Z-Man crawls, If you've never used these lures, you're missing out. I just started this summer. I started seeing them online, people catching fish with them and everything. I said, you know what? I could use some help. I've been fishing for years, and I've got all kinds of lures, believe me. No expense spared when it comes to anything I want. I get it when it comes to fishing, like a lot of us fools do. But for the money, little Z-Man crawls, they make a floating worm also, which works real well down here. I like topwater lures as well. But the TRD, which is just a long tube worm looking thing, all different colors, the copper truce is your best bet. Let's try it again. Give it a little bit of action while it goes down. Looks like you're swimming. Fish go crazy over this stuff. Try to keep your line kind of tight so you can feel it. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Look like you pecked it. And then they're weedless, you can kind of drag them across the bottom. It gives them the look of them going across the bottom. Can't beat it. Now the ones that aren't weedless, if you're in a place that you don't have to worry about snags too much, they're just as good. Ned rigs is what this is called. This setup is called a Ned rig. There's different versions. So far, this is one of my favorite versions. It's actually what works for me. And if it's working, I'm not going to change a thing. As you know, wearing a Mayhew hat today, representing the Mayhew. Pros know. Pros know. Like I said, I'm not going to spend much time down here today. Maybe half an hour. I don't know how long I've been here, maybe 5 minutes. Got one down. The biggest one I ever caught, I caught right. Caught two of them, a 14-inch and then an 18-inch back to back. Using TRD. There we go, right down there. What's the best? Where's he at? We had a bunch of rain, the river was up. Well, this is the Opakin in West Virginia. This creek was up really good last few days. It finally went back down. It's real pretty. Clear green, beautiful water. This is ideal. It's dark green out there, and about maybe 2/3 up this way, it starts getting real clear. You can see the bottom. You can see there's nothing there. It's usually when I pick up recast. Let's get over there. I see red eye rock bass hanging out in that spot over there a lot. The current doesn't help much when it comes to. There we go. There we go. Oh, I got off. See what I'm talking about? Just didn't get the hook right. Under that spot. Listen, when you throw it in current, it bounces. A lot of times you can't really tell. It's hard. That's why a lot of people use these in lakes, in slow moving water. And this is pretty slow. If you pay attention to your line, a lot of times you can tell whether they're on it or not. Sometimes I spin just reeling it in a little here, a little there. Just feeling it. Which when it bounces and it looks like a crayfish, it looks like it's going across the bottom. That helps too. What was that? I work this too fast. But when you're in moving water, you kind of have to. Because it bounces and it goes. If it was a still water, you could drag it along real slow and it wouldn't go anywhere. But when it's moving, it tends to go around and it goes back into the shallow water and gets out of the strike zone. So you're having a reel more, cast more, and move it, work it a little faster than you would if this was just a slow moving, or a lake or something, pond. Building kind of slow, let it sit. Like I said, when it's bouncing and everything, it'll make it look like you're getting hit. But if you hold your line, you can actually feel it. Oh. This is a loose speed stick, 6 foot. Loses some really good stuff. This is a combo. I had 2 combos like this. This one is my favorite because it's a 1-piece rod. It's not a 2-piece. Even though my other lose is really cool too. You know, it's a 2-piece. These rods have really become my favorites. I've really come to like these rods for this lure. Now, when it comes to bigger lures and crankbaits and such like that, I like to use my my bait casting rods. Looks like something was hitting that. Bait casting rods are good for the bigger stuff. Bouncing along. Let it bounce. When it stops, sometimes you can lift it up a little bit and walk a little more. So in the water, it looks like a crayfish coming across the bottom. And in creeks and rivers where they eat a lot of crayfish. Oh, what was that? This works well. I also use a helgramite, rubber helgramite from Venom. Venom makes a helgramite about, I think it's 3 inches long. It looks just like a helgramite. Put a good black-headed jig head on it. You talked about catching some smallmouth with that too. They work really well. Let it drop. That's attractive too when it comes dropping down. Fish see it, looks like a crayfish submerging himself in the water. I do pretty well with a frog lure around here too. When you're walking along the lake, streams, creeks, and frogs are jumping in, and you know fish have done eating frogs before. Kind of slow so far this morning. They have different colors in all these lures. This one is a copper bottom, like a motor oil color on top. It's got some metal flake in it, different colors of metal flake. Sparkly attracts fish. Anything sparkly attracts anything. Must be female fish. You must think it's a diamond ring or some new earrings. Or a shiny expensive car. Drop. There's a slow pull over there that doesn't move. Caught a big smallmouth out of that spot one day. There was a log after a rainstorm one day that was laying out here. I really hated it. It's right in the middle of a place that I really like to fish. Even though it created structure, it started grabbing some stuff that I didn't want to lose. And that's why I started getting into the weedless Ned rig jig heads. Because I could bounce it across there as long as I didn't set it into it. I was good. It kind of looks like maybe at this rainstorm and everything to come down, either water's high, which water is a little high, or it got washed downstream like it got washed down to this point in the first place. So I'm going to sit here in this little spot. There's really no other way to contain my camera down there, so I'll just do this here, just messing around. I might might go down there a little bit, but I probably won't do that on film just for the fact. I gotta get my GoPro straight so I can wear it around my chest. Start taking you guys everywhere I go. But for today, for all purposes, I just wanted to show you this lure. For all my friends that fish, I'm telling you, it was a game changer. I come down here, first day I had one of these craws, and I caught like back-to-back fall fish, 18, 20 inches, big ones, one after another right here in this spot, and a couple smallmouth. Then I caught that big largemouth, and then I've caught the biggest smallmouth of my life down here, and on the Shenandoah I've caught some big smallmouth with this lure. If you're not using it, you're just abusing your fishing rod. I mean, granted, I got crankbaits, spinnerbaits, topwater baits, all kinds of stuff. This is always a go-to where I actually do well. Fish of all sizes, they love crayfish. They say smallmouth got small mouths, but they got big attitude. They will attack something as big as they are, they don't care. They're some of the strongest fish out here, pound for pound, inch by inch. So out of this creek itself, I've caught fall fish, smallmouth, red-eye rock bass, largemouth, sunfish, bluegill, catfish, all on the Ned rig. I've seen big carp up in here. I know there's suckers in here. There's supposed to be muskies in here. And I've caught trout. By the way, I've caught trout too. All in this little spot. I have another spot I like to go to. On the other side of Route 51 over there. There's another bridge over there I like to go to, where the bridge has been taken down, removed. I do a lot of rooster tail fishing over there because the water moves fast. So I hooked two over there this morning, and I know they're rock bass, because that's what I always catch over there. Either sunfish or rock bass. So let's see if I can get a good old cast down there. Yeah, that's a good old cast down there. That's a good spot. That's one of my favorite spots right there. Let's see what happens. When you're casting downstream, it's a little easier to control your line. Current keeps it tight. And weedless keeps it from getting snagged into a tree. You want you to reel it in kind of slow. It gets their attention as it drags across the bottom. In a clear creek, they can see it. Heavy. I wonder if I think I picked something up. Yeah, picked up some creek salad. See, when it goes across the water, it stands up like that. Little claws come up. It looks pretty good in the water. If I was a fish, I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna eat this. I'm like a fish. There we go. That's a nice cast. Water's not real deep. I think the deepest spot over there might be 4, maybe 5 foot deep. But most places on this river, you can walk across it. I won't too much. I'm only going to walk where I can see because I'm skittish of water sometimes. Sometimes I can be a little chicken. It's kind of slow this morning. I wonder if it's the color. I do real well with the black craw. I do real well with the sharp copper truce TRD. Sun's coming up, starting to get on it. A couple more and I'm going to call it. Just because I didn't catch a lot of fish, you got to understand this is a small stretch. It's not like you think ponds and stuff like that. You know, a lot of bass set up every day. Some do cruise, some do cruise. These fish do cruise, but a lot of them hang up in the same spots. So after you fish this area for a little while, most likely you done throw this in front of all the fish, and whether they're going to eat or not is up to them. And if they were going to, they probably already would have. So after that, that's about that, you know. I mean to bring my fly rod down here one day, mess around. I just haven't done it yet. So many things going on nowadays. So busy with the new dog kennel, putting it together. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a whole lot of time to do this. I just thought I'd bring you down here with me for a little while today. Show you what I got going on. If you like to fish, you like to catch bass, I'm telling you, go get you some Z-Man plastics. Get some Z-Man jigs. They're usually like mushroom head jigs, flat jigs. So they lay flat on the bottom when the TRD stands straight up. You want it to be able to sit there and flat. Not the round head jigs like you get like your Mr. Twisters or anything else like that. Because they won't lay flat. They'll want to continue to roll over. Get you some mushroom jigs or some square jig heads that'll lay flat on the bottom. Try that. But anyway, I think I'm going to call it. Try one more spot real quick while we're standing here. But I don't know if I hit very well yet. Let's see what happens. It goes loose like that a lot of times. Hold on, I'm going to go try another color and I'll get back with you. Hang on. And we're back. Let's try this. I've got the rabbit bait jig head with a Z-Man floating pink rubber worm. What's it going to do? I don't know. I've never tried something like this before, but it looks a lot like worm when it gets in the water, you know. I'm sure these fish have eaten a worm before. Wonder how it's going to float. At least it'll sink with the weight on it. Oh, stand straight. Oh, this is going to be deadly. This is going to be deadly. Watch, this is going to be deadly. I know it's pink. We'll see. The only bad thing is it's so long. You hope he just sucks it up from the head. If it doesn't, then nothing's going to happen. Oh, I know exactly how to work this. Let's throw this downstream and work it upstream. Oh yeah. Bounce it around a little bit, make it look like it's alive. Is that a hit? Something happened. that was. Sometimes you need to design your own lure hook. I already see it in my head. If I could design a hook that'll come off, some kind of leader that'll come off this hook, come down here and hook into the back end of this worm. So you have two. I think that would be shiznit, don't you? Let's throw this upstream and drag it back downstream. See what happens. Ooh, look at the worm fly. It was kind of a slow morning. Oh, what was that? Let me grab it. It's almost like Texas rigging a worm. If you're Texas rigging a worm that stands straight up in the water. The water slow, stand straight up. Like I said, most likely they've already decided whether they want to eat or not. Sometimes you can get them, like when you're using something pink, shiny, might get their attention. Try it down there. Ooh, nice cast here. Thank you. It's always good with these lures if you cast downstream. The water's moving real slow because it keeps your line tight. You can tell. A lot easier than when you're casting upstream. Your line keeps going loose as it's coming back down to you. This is a great spot because I've seen everything from this spot. West Virginia at its finest. I've seen deer, foxes, weasels, kingfishers, geese, all kinds of fancy ducks, a bald eagle. You see deer over here all the time. I had one as soon as I walked up. Usually the babies are back here. I didn't see them today yet, but there was a young one that was running around a minute ago. This is a great place to come and fish for a little while, kill a little time, hide from the wife since you don't know where you're at. You probably didn't notice I'm missing yet. I haven't heard a word from her yet. Where are you? None of your business, woman. None of your business, woman. None of your business. No, I'm not fishing. That's one thing I'm not doing. Got to go home and finish the skirting around the building. Getting ready to put the insulation up and build the walls. Our kennels are coming in, I believe, one day next week. They're custom made, heavy duty. We don't play around. We're in it for the long haul now. Big investments for stuff like this. So hopefully business is nothing but good right now. And it's only gotten better from last year. So I imagine it's only going to get better this year. Anyway, I know it's boring. Get to sit around and hang out with me for a little while. It's no big deal, right? But that's what we did today. Did catch fish. So here's the fishing video. As Catfish Dave would say, if you don't ever see me, go check him out. And also one of my biggest favorites is the Creek Fishing Adventures. This guy hits creeks like this all the time. And he's the one who taught me about the Helgamite lures. Caught a lot of fish on him. Go check him out. Subscribe. These guys are good guys. If you enjoyed watching this, hey, like it, subscribe it. I'm only going to go better from here. Tomorrow I'm taking my boat out on the Shenandoah. I'm going to try to have my cameras and everything set up, and we'll really catch some fish. Anyway, this is Terry from Total Mayhem Adventures, and I hope you guys have a great day.